Did you guys get a chance to check out the AWC this weekend? Did you guys enjoy the games? Too much RMP. It was all RMP mirrors. Skipped all the RMP games. You skipped all the RMP games. That was like, I think there's only one game that wasn't RMP. Let's talk for a sec, guys. So a lot of you guys are saying like there's way too much RMP in the AWC, etc., etc., etc. It's actually, it's really interesting because like if we take a look at like Drustvar, for example, right now, okay? So let's take a look at Drustvar and we can take a look at the top of the North American ladder. If you look at the top of the North American ladder, you can actually see you have a Rep Paladin, Warrior, Druid, Rep Paladin, Warrior, Rep Paladin, Warrior, Hunter, Feral. Like in the top 20 of the ladder, at the very top, there's more. There's like Feral Druids, there's Feral Druid, Resto Shaman, Demo Warlock. You know what I mean? Like on the ladder, Outlaw, Holy Priest, well, Holy Priest has obviously played a lot, but like Outlaw and Fire Mage aren't like overly represented. Like if you look at PvP representation right now, and I know you guys will say, so here, let's look. Okay, so we're gonna look at both regions, 2400, PvP, and we're gonna go for specs, okay? So let's look at threes. We can take a look. So in threes, you have Holy Priest #1. That's no surprise. Fury Warriors are actually above Fire Mages. Then you have Ret Paladins, Subtlety Rogues. This is DPS. Feral Druids, Havoc Demon Hunters, Unholy Death Knights, Destro Warlocks, and then you have Outlaw Rogues down here. So Outlaw Rogues are behind BM Hunters, Survival Hunters. They're behind Shadow Priests, which makes no sense. There's more Shadow Priests than Outlaw Rogues above 2400. And a lot of you guys will be like, oh, 2400 doesn't matter. What only matters is the top of the ladder. But it's a really interesting kind of like balancing problem, right? Because the AWC and like the current ladder are different things. You know what I mean? On ladder, Ret Warrior does really well. Like Jungle does pretty well. Like even Mage Lock does pretty well. Those top 6 rep are 2 different players. Yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. But still, there's more. I mean, even if you look at this, there's 180 Rep Paladins in both regions. I mean, 2400 may not be like rank 1 at the moment, but it's still not like low rated, right? So it's like, it's not like the classes are unviable. The problem is when you have like a tournament realm environment, you have a tournament realm environment and people can counter comp and stuff, it becomes really, really difficult. Like in my personal opinion, I feel like the biggest problem, so a lot of people talk about like what are the problems with Fire Mage? What are the problems with you know, Outlaw Rogue? What are the problems with Holy Priest? Like the thing, in my opinion, that makes this version of RMP so oppressive is that it can't die. Like I don't even care that Outlaw Rogues have a lot of CC. I don't care that Fire Mages have a lot of CC. I don't really care that they have a lot of bursts. My biggest problem is they're immortal. That's the biggest problem. Like in the past, what would happen is an RMP would do a go, right? They'd get crowd control on you. They'd use their cooldowns. They'd get burst. And if you survive that, you have a window where you get to run them over a little bit, you know? You get to make them scared. But now that's not really the case. Now it feels like the RMP does their go, and then you can't kill them. And then they do their go, and you're panicking, and then you can't kill them. And then they do their go, and you're panicking, trying to survive, and then you can't kill them. So that's the biggest thing to me is I think like the defensive cooldown reduction of Outlaw Rogue and their bolstered health it's too strong. Fire Mage survivability I think is too good. Like there's one talent in particular that I think like absolutely needs a nerf. There's no doubt in my mind it needs a nerf. It's called Blazing Soul. Okay, so Blazing Soul is one of the biggest offenders in the game, and the way it works is when you cast a blink, you get Blazing Barrier. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but with the blink glyph, blink is a 10-second cooldown. So you take a spell, Blazing Barrier, that normally has, I think it's like a 24 or 26-second cooldown, and then you put it on a 10-second ability. So by speccing into Blazing Soul, you get 3 times as many Blazing Barriers. And then it kind of doubles down too, because when you blink, you get a shield from one of the conduits. And then in addition to that, you also, every bit of damage that you absorb from your Blazing Barriers heals you. So you're just getting all these shields, and those shields heal you. And when you blink, you also are getting, you know, Tempest Barrier. So I think like the easiest things, like in my opinion, if they could nerf fire mage, like I'm not the authority on like Outlaw Rogues. I'm not the authority on Holy Priest. I don't really know exactly what they should do with that. But with fire mages, I think undoubtedly Blazing Soul needs a fat nerf in PvP. And I honestly think Altar Time needs a nerf in PvP too. Altar Time is a really, really fun ability with like high outplay potential, but I think lasting 10 seconds is too long. I think it should last like 5 seconds. I think that would be like a really good start for fire mage's survivability. But yeah, it's just really interesting. And it's something that like, you know, I saw Sidu mention it as well. He's like, you know, obviously the tournament meta needs to change because all we're seeing is Outlaw Rogues and all we're seeing is RMP. But on the ladder, he says that he loses as RMP. And the ladder is not all RMP. So it's like, yeah. The justifications for nerfs, I guess, I'm not sure. Like, is it just me or being able to blink out of stuns just the most broken, outdated mechanic? It's a good, like, being able to blink out of stuns is crazy. The problem is there's a conduit. There's always a conduit, right? The conduit that reduces, like, blink cooldown by 6 seconds and gives you a shield. Like, mages are intentionally not blinking out of stuns and just eating stuns because they're blinking with a shield, right? So, yeah, just some food for thought. I think it's pretty interesting, but yeah.